Holy pickleball anime. When?
Yes, sir.
Who knows? But it's coming.
Eventually.
I guarantee
One day.
there's a studio out there working on Haikyuu, the pickleball era. And I think both Nox and I will be sat for that one.
I will be front row. Day one, opening. 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah, I'll be right next to you.
Well, maybe not front row. Those are usually the bad seats, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, you gotta crane your neck up. You get like a crick in your neck afterwards. This is Flight Check Season 5, Episode 22. We're back once again talking all aspects of FlyQuest. MSI is over. Genji reigns supreme after yet another 5-game banger. And FlyQuest falls at 5th place, tied with CTBC Bank Flying Oyster. A respectable position, and where we hoped they would get. My name, as always, is Sandy Toes. To my left tonight is Nox Ward. Curly Double Q out this week on a camping vision quest spirit journey of sorts. But we've still got League of Legends to talk about. In case you can't see, my usual bookshelf is completely erased from behind me. I will literally be wrapping up the show, and as I take you into our room, taking all these boxes.
Ooh, a little tour.
And I'll be packing up this computer, ready to move to a new place. So, hopefully next week, presuming that we have internet, which is a little TBD currently.
Fingers crossed.
We'll be streaming from a new location. Undisclosed. An undisclosed location on the East Coast. But thankfully, there's no competitive League of Legends going on for the next few weeks. So,
competitive is the operative word there.
Exactly. There's no competitive League of Legends occurring next few weeks. Nox, my first question to you, this kind of got posed on Twitter a little bit. It was noted that over 4,000 people successfully predicted a perfect MSI bracket. And I believe it was LEC Wooloo posited on Twitter, hey, is it too easy? Was it too easy to predict this this MSI? Is just like the format not good for pick'ems? And I want to turn that over to you. Like, was it too easy for 4,222 people to perfectly predict the bracket? Wooloo saying the fact that MSI is predictable is actually not good news. And all 4,000 plus people get every ultimate skin in the game.
Which is crazy.
Which is like insane monetary value. Like, this is like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that they're just giving away. Like, this is easily a net loss for Riot.
It's definitely a major loss. And I would say this is what Riot is bringing upon themselves. And there's pros and cons to this, right? Because you have slowly over the years gotten rid of the wildcard regions. You've gotten rid of lower seeds competing in certain tournaments. But at the same time, you have upped the quality of play, I would say. This is, in my opinion, one of the highest levels of quality of play that we've had at a tournament. That's why a lot of people are saying that this is one of the best tournaments that's ever been hosted by Riot in recent years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, it does suck in the sense of, like, upsets and, like, predictability, because there's nothing super, like, shocking or surprising that really occurs anymore. But at the same time, like, people have been complaining about the game quality for ages now. And you know what? I would say you're finally getting good game quality at these tournaments because you're only bringing in good teams now. Right. So take your pick. Do you want the upsets and the shock factor and like the underdog stories, or do you want the high quality games and the consistent power levels of teams and the easy predictability. It's just kind of like, what does the audience want? In which case, it's hard to even say what that is because each region has different expectations. Like Korea might have different expectations of what they want out of a tournament versus what China may want, or what Europe may want, or what we may want here in North America. So I think it's yet to be seen. I think Riot needs to do some studying and do a little brushing up on what the current LoL esports audience wants. Do they want the upsets? Do they want the underdog stories? I still think you can get those personally, but it kind of may come at the cost of quality of games, which people have always complained about.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's also a lesson here for Riot in that you don't necessarily have to say every ultimate skin, as the top reward, right? Like, it's not Worlds. You're
Right.
not. This is not Worlds that you're asking people to predict, where a perfect bracket is a truly remarkable feat. Um, this was like the odds were apparently pretty good for people to do it. So I think maybe the lesson here for them is, okay, maybe you say like, oh, you get 5 random ultimate skins instead of like every ultimate skin in the game. Um, Obviously, I was so glad that Riot did a pick'ems at all for MSI, which has not
Yeah,
been the case in many
Yep,
years
exactly.
past. In fact, I hope next year that they do a first stand pick'ems. And like, sure, could that first stand pick'ems be like even less of a, not bar, but the rewards would be even of lower quality? Sure. And I think that's fine. It just makes pick'ems have a natural progression over the year to where you get to Worlds and you get that perfect bracket, you do get all the ultimate skins, which is worth the perfect bracket. Um, I don't think that this MSI was quote unquote too easy to predict. I think if it was too easy, um, I think then you would have had like 40,000 people nailing the
Right.
bracket, right? Because the fact of the matter is, you probably had a lot of people who did not think that CFO was going to do that well. Especially, like they showed up, GAM looked good, but then you had no really idea how Flying Oyster was going to do besides their first stand performance. Um, the initial signs were like, okay, MCoy probably is favored against Flying Oyster. The FlyQuest G2 match, I think for a lot of people, up until the tournament began, was a lot more coin flippy than I think people expected it, than people thought it was going to be. Sorry, it was a lot more. People thought it was going to be a lot more coin flippy than it wound up
Yeah.
being. So I don't think it was too easy to predict, but at the same time, I do think there's a lesson here for Riot in that you don't have to give away every ultimate skin, but still, hats off to all 4,222 of you who did make it. I did not wind up doing that well. I think I was in the top 15 or 20%. I was
I
at
think top 20%, but then like the thing is because so many people did so well,
Yeah.
it like you had like one bracket wrong, you were pretty much automatically out of any of the major rewards, which that part, and I'm happy for the 4,000 people. Congrats to those guys. You absolutely deserve it.
Right.
But it does kind of feel bad for the skew percentage, so to speak, of the remaining
Yes.
people who just missed like a single series. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, because you had 4,000 people cash in on all the ultimate skins, literally no one else gets anything. So it is what it is. It can't be too frustrated. It's all free at the end of the day. But
Right.
yeah, little things for Riot to tweak going into next year's MSI. I think this was a great learning moment. Like not a big oopsies by any means. It's just maybe do need to make some adjustments.
Yeah. I mean, I had I literally missed 2 series. Like I picked BLG to beat T1 in the first semifinal. Way earlier. Obviously, that, but then I had Gen G winning all the way, and then I had T1 making it out of losers. In fact, I did not have T1 making it out of losers. I had BLG making it back out of losers. eventually. And so, like, yeah, I missed 2 series, and that put me in the top 25% instead of like a top 10, or even in this like 4,000, whatever. I will note, I did nail the Gen G finals pick. This is the first time I've ever predicted a tournament champion correctly. We'll see how Worlds goes for me. It was not my... Worlds have not necessarily been my best showings at Pick'ems. All right. FlyQuest put up a valiant fight, but unfortunately falter at the last moment and fell to BLG 3-2 in what I would truly classify as a heartbreaker. Especially the way that series ended, not with a bang, but truly with a whimper. And a rolling over, and not even a playing dead, but like showing up dead. Which was really unfortunate after the complete banger that the series had been. And I can't help, Nox, but wonder, like, if Masu had been in that bush and seen BLG coming towards him and not gotten caught level 1 and have to burn everything and then subsequently get absolutely demolished in the lane, how much would it have changed anything?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to attribute the Game 5 loss solely to Masu, right?
Of course
because
not,
it was a perfect storm of things. But the reality of the situation is you have Lucian in a Game 5. Generally, Lucian is a massive lane bully. This is a champion that is meant to dominate the lane. It's meant to control the wave states. It's meant to, at least for like the first maybe 7 or 8 waves or so, right? Unless like you have outside jungler presence coming in and affecting how it's supposed to be played out. So what happens when he gets massively chunked out and then is not able to farm and is just massively set behind? It's just giving BLG all this time to do whatever they want to go do. And so, granted, Masu and Busio managed to bounce back and they do pick up a kill, which is awesome. But the reality of the situation is it bought so much time for Beishuan and Knight to do whatever they wanted else. In which case, I think the bigger issue, and the one that I was highlighting in our last episode, was Quad. Quad was our big underperformer of the series in basically this whole tournament in general.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, and I really do want to emphasize, like, there was not a single game outside of this Game 5 where I thought Quad was, like, a detriment, right? He was never someone who was, like, actively causing losses for the team, but he was never doing anything to really help push the team forward until this Game 5, in which case I understand that the Zillion into Galio matchup is one of the safer matchups for Zillion to play into. It is. However, Quad has never really played Zillion. I'm sure he's played it in solo queue, right? But it's not anything he has practice on recently. You're playing against one of the better mid laners in the tournament, in my opinion, regardless of how the team actually looked. And it's a Game 5 scenario, right? And you're putting... This is the player who is far and away, from a coach's perspective, you have to recognize this, that this player is probably the one that's performing the least best on your team. Put him on something a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
Just the solo kill. Yeah. And I was screaming Silas. I don't know what you were looking at, but like the next morning when I woke up and I was redoing my VOD review because I was at the F1 movie for the Game 5, I was like, oh my god, it's such a massive Silas angle. The Silas angle was huge because there were so many globals on BLG's side that you could take from. I think they had Ashe, which that's a huge ultimate for Silas to take. I thought it was such a massive Silas angle. So,
and he's
for me,
Silas. Like, this is not.
He has played Silas. His Silas isn't anything to write home about, but he's Silas. And so for me, it was just frustrating to see. Like, I appreciate really trying to pick out this comp that like can really throw BLG for a loop, because it really, like, if Quad holds his ground and he manages to get into the mid game without any issues, and then Masu also doesn't happen to have that level 1 blunder, I actually don't think it's a horrible thing, but the reality of the situation is Masu blundered, and Quad unfortunately was not up to the standards of what was needed in this game 5 on a brand new champion that he doesn't typically play into one of the best mid laners at the tournament.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, it's frustrating because I just want Mithy and Nuke Duck to like just play it a little bit safer, man. It's game 5. It's the first one of the tournament. They haven't played a game 5 yet this tournament. The last one they played was Cloud9, and last international one they played was Gen G almost a year ago at this point. Just give him something comfy. Just give him something comfy. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, and he had played Talia, Annie. By the way, once again, the Annie, very uninspiring. That was also the Callista game, by the way. Rise and Wei. And yeah, like, the other thing, they had banned the Cassiopeia and Azir. Like, they were on blue side. They did not ban the Cassio game 1, but starting game 2, they were on blue side for the rest of the series, and their first 2 bans, Cassiopeia and Azir. Those were their bans for the next 4 games, right? And they left up the Sylas. You're absolutely correct. I did miss that initially. But that's like, yeah, I mean, you've got Ash Arrow, you've got Galio ulti, you've got Rumble ulti, you've got Nocturne ulti, Shen ulti even. Like, there's so much there. And I think the interview I saw was that they had not scrimmed with Zillion at all. This was like a complete, like, off the wall. Yeah. I think they panicked a little bit. I wouldn't be shocked if they literally forgot that. This is an exaggeration. I'm using a lot of hyperbole. I wouldn't be shocked if they could just forgot Sylas existed.
Because, forgetting Sylas existed? Yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that happening.
Like, because BLG had banned it in game 4. It had not been, touched otherwise. So, like, I mean, like, BLG game 4, listen to these bans. Cassiopeia, Azir, Galio, Orianna, Sylas. Like, those are all quad champs. And it's and they reban 3 of those, take 1, and then they ban the TF, and they let the Sylas go through. And it's like, they're giving you the Sylas. And I get, like, maybe it's not the best matchup into the Galio, right? But
yeah,
I have other problems with this comp, like the Urgot and the Lee Sin. Just again, why? The Urgot just like is so uninspiring for me every time Bwipo busts it out. It's never what I want it to be. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. The Lee Sin had also not been amazing from Inspired. So just, it's just frustrating to be so close and then to kind of falter here at the end, where, this is what we talked about last week, was smart, simple drafts. And all you got to do is put a classic Bwipo top laner. Like, okay, the Rumble was, their pick. Yorick had been picked, and I'm not sure, Renekton was taken. There wasn't a lot left by game 5 for top lane, but, like, Bwipo has plenty of champs in his back pocket. I just have to feel like there was something better than the Urgot sitting out there for him to take.
I think the other comfy one for him would have been the Volibear, but I'm not exactly sure on how Volibear does in the Rumble. I don't think it's a great matchup, so I don't know. Outside of that, I don't know what else is necessarily in his wheelhouse. Because here's actually a big
the Jace
issue
was available, I will say.
Yeah, Jace was absolutely available. One thing I want to point out is Bwipo does not play Rumble. Go check his match history. It's not that he can't play it. I'm sure he can play it, but like clearly within the teams like Wheelhouse of Champions that they want to play in terms of like comps, like he does not play Rumble. And I think that's that's something he probably needs to be learning coming in summer, barring any like patch changes for Rumble. So
Yeah, no, Blippo needs to be really slamming some of those Rumble solo queue games for sure. If not, if he happens to play in some kind of like random tournament here and there in the next few weeks, maybe bust it out there. I don't know what kind of tournament that would be. Certainly not Riot would never sanction a tournament in between MSI and the summer split, but
no, never.
No, never. I want to bring it back to, and this is kind of like an overall thing for me. Inspired was absolutely incredible this tournament.
Yes.
He was so good. I think my concern is that so much weight was put on his shoulders this tournament, and he can't be he can't just keep being the guy. We have to be able to diversify. Masu had an incredible Jhin performance. Even in the Senna game that we lost, Masu looked good there. Obviously, the Kalista was tragic, but that was a tragic. I
think that's just a drafting issue. Not a single team, not even Gen, not to pick that champion.
Yeah, that was like a 1-8. Like Kalista went 1-8 this tournament.
No, Kalista went 0-10. 0-10.
I thought Kalista got a game.
Renata Glass got a single game.
That's what I'm thinking.
Kalista went 0-10.
Yeah. Pardon me, I'm gonna sneeze 1 second.
So yeah, well, Sandy's seizing, but no, Kalista was god awful. Twisted Fate was horrible.
Right.
Renata Glass, I think, was unfortunately just paired with her partner in crime a little bit too often, and thus suffered the consequences of it. I actually wonder if maybe that champion could have done a little bit better if it had been paired with other champions, but that's just speculation at that point. So I'm willing to give Renata Glass the pass for the time being. I don't think she's a fake champion or anything.
Well,
but
the one Renata Glass game that did pop off, I forget who was playing it, but they
Carrier, I'm pretty sure, in game 4 of
like he actually showed how good the champ can be.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that I am coming back to though with this tournament ultimately is Quad had a bad tournament. This was not his. He had some good moments, like obviously like that Hwei game 4 was incredible. But when I think back to like, okay, what were kind of the pain points for us? It wasn't Whippo, which is usually somewhere that I look. Inspired obviously did really well. Masu and Busio, I thought, did phenomenally into some of these elite bot lanes. More often than not, where we were struggling was Quad into some of these elite mid laners. Knight really bodied him several times.
Mm-hmm.
Shanks absolutely bodied him in that series.
Even Caps was really putting his pressure on the Quad, even the G2 series.
He was not doing very hot against Caps. And, that is a concern for me going forward. Is like, can Quad bring his level up to meet that elite level when he needs it to be? What are your thoughts on Quad and his performance at this tournament?
So, even last year, and granted, last year I was giving him a little bit of a pass because he joined in Summer Split and then he went to Worlds, and it's like, okay, clearly, like, he still needs more time to warm up, right?
Yes.
I thought he was looking a little bit better come. Well, Winter Split was a bit rough, if I'm being honest, after the loss to 100 Thieves. But I thought he looked decent in spring. I thought him and Loki were fairly evenly matched. I thought maybe Loki was maybe slightly better than him in lane in general, like map presence, but it was like negligible stuff in general. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I think he's looking pretty decent overall. And so coming into MSI, was of the opinion that in general, like, I'm not expecting him to be an elite mid laner, but I was expecting him to hold his ground. In which case, for the most, like, he held his ground to a certain extent. He, again, and this is where my whole thing of him, like, he was not causing losses for FlyQuest outside of Game 5 versus BLG. But he was not doing anything to push the team forward and, like, really helping the team succeed outside of a couple of moments here and there.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, you just have to start asking yourself, okay, it's been just shy of a year at this point. Generally, I would like to give a player more than a year to really show what they're made of. But my worry at this point is the growth level has started to pitter-patter out. Like, you could kind of tell as, like, he was going, feeling himself with the team in summer of last year. Like, okay, he's clearly growing. That's fine. Made it to Worlds. And it's like, okay, you're going to get skill capped. He kind of was a little bit, but that's fine. All learning moments. A bit of a slow start in winter this year, not a big deal. And then I thought this spring, split 2, with all the practice versus Loki, I thought he was starting to kind of look a little bit better, but he wasn't really having these massive carry performances. But maybe Loki was just that guy, because I'd heard good things about Loki in general in scrims. And so I was kind of willing to give him, like, a little bit more leeway coming into MSI, and he was a little bit underneath what I was expecting and hoping for him. Not by much, but a little bit. So going forward, because he did have an interview, I want to say, with LCS Profiles with Arsh, and he was talking about how his confidence wasn't that great, and he had a moment. Whippo came over to him and like, "You're okay, man. You got this. Don't worry about it." And it was a very cute moment from what was described. But I need, going forward, going into this summer, I really need to see maybe FlyQuest taking the time to really invest resources into quad, and I want to see that this man has the capabilities of really truly being the carry that you need to step up when it matters most. And if that causes you to drop a couple games, that's okay. These are best of 3s. You're in LTA, and the style of this split, because you are the number 1 team there is right now, and how the split works, you're only playing the bottom teams.
Yeah.
Get the practice reps in, man.
Right.
Really funnel the resources into him. Say, hey, man, if you want to stick around on this team, not saying that he's like being given an ultimatum, but if you really want to stick around on this team and be the elite mid laner that we know that you possibly be, and like really show the world that a North American team can actually take the grand stage on an international stage, like, this is the moment. Show your reps, show your practice, do it against these bottom tier teams, do it against DSG, do it against Lion, do it against Dignitas, whoever, and then work it in against games versus like Cloud9, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, maybe even Shopify, depending on how you want to rank power ranking. And then I need Quad to be able to step it up on the international stage. I need him to step it up when he reaches China. Yeah. And I think China will be great because you get those solo queue accounts over there where mechanical god and everyone's just performing TikToks on each other. Like, I think that should hopefully level him up a little bit and maybe up his confidence a little bit. And then hopefully we can hit the world stage running, and with a full squad of 5 guys who absolutely can be elite in the world. Because Inspired's there right now. Whippo, I would say, is there majority of the time.
Yeah.
Outside of his coin flips.
Right.
Masu absolutely has his moments. A couple hiccups here and there this tournament, obviously, but I think he's on his way to being a consistent elite AD carry. Busio, by the way, you want to talk about Busio for a moment, by the way?
Oh, please.
What did you think of Busio this tournament?
I mean, I thought he really stepped up.
Yes, 100%.
I thought he was vastly... I think this tournament was way better than his first stand. Not his first, his sprint, his winter, LTA whatever's. Yeah, I thought this was a really great tournament. I thought it was a great tournament for the bot lane overall. Yeah, I think, like, if I had to pinpoint, like, if you're FlyQuest, and I know where it's like July, right? But like, if you're FlyQuest and you're looking at the 2026 season and you're saying to yourself, okay, what players are going to get us to the next level? The bot lane, Inspired, The Bwipo Gakugo situation is kind of up in the air right now. I think it really depends on what what Bwipo wants to do, and B, what they like get out of Gakos. I think the question is there an upgrade to be made in mid? Like, that is an import slot, right? You could conceivably find a really stellar EU mid laner. You could find there's like, and obviously Quad's like built into the system. But I think like if FlyQuest goes to Worlds and it's like a similar performance, like once again can't get past this like best of 5 against a Asian team ceiling that they seem to struggle with, then the question I think becomes, okay, what piece do we need to swap out in order to have that success in the future? Or are we willing to continue investing these resources and run it back for a third year? And I think these are big questions that I think remain to be seen if, like,
right,
they don't step up. But I think that's kind of like where my head is at right now. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you. I think they're not questions that need to be answered now, right? It's just now that the tournament is done, you start kind of just thinking of the future, and it's just you preparing. Like, okay, these are things that we maybe need to start looking at, not necessarily acting upon, but you need to consider them a little bit, right? And so, and I'm sure that's what Empire is doing right now. I'm sure that's what Andrew Barton is doing right now. Is just, okay, we saw how you're playing. I mean, as a good GM, a good scout, a good business owner, you're going to do whatever you can to make sure that your team is staying as competitive as possible. And reality of the situation is that means you are scouting the world for new upcoming talent and or currently active good talent that you can maybe get your hands on.
Yeah.
So for the time being, it's not like I'm calling for Quad to be replaced or anything, but it is a call for Quad to step up. I think this was a tournament that not necessarily a failure for him, but it did not meet the standards that I was hoping for. So just, hey, you got your warning. Right. You're not on thin ice, but you do have a warning.
Right. Yes. Yeah, you do have the warning. All right. Any final thoughts on FlyQuest at MSI before we kind of move forward with things?
Long story short, standards were met. They beat G2. They did it in 3-0 fashion. Beautiful. Suck it, EU. Outside of that, we took 3 games off of Chinese teams. Does it hurt that we weren't able to break through the best of 5 barrier? Yes. But considering that we're still coming off of years past where even 2023, where NRG made it to quarterfinals, they still got 3-0'd by WBG, right? Right. We are still the only Western team that is consistently punching Asian teams in the face a little bit. Even if we're not necessarily... We're making them sweat. We're not winning yet, but we're making them sweat. And that gives me a lot of hope. I thought this was a great MSI for FlyQuest. I thought it was a great MSI for North America. The fact that Cloud9 is also going toe-to-toe with us in all these matches gives me a lot of hope with them, because I think it's going to be FlyQuest and Cloud9. So overall, I was extremely happy with how this MSI went, both in terms of FlyQuest and just overall tournament, man. Like, North America's put on 2 banger back-to-back tournaments. Worlds 2022 with a DRX run, and then now this. Yeah. I'm just saying, man, maybe throw North America some more tournaments. We put on good tournaments.
Yeah, throw them a bone. Yeah, I think a lot of things to take away from this MSI. I think the argument can be made that NA might be the 3rd best region right now.
I wish we'd gotten that match versus CFO. Yeah. Because I think that would have been a banger. We need a it is
elimination bracket.
yeah. We need to know who's 5th place and who's 6th place in this tournament. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we beat CFO. I think we beat.
I think we can too. I do think it's a banger best of 5 though. I think that's like a FlyQuest Cloud9 matchup kind of banger. But maybe we'll get it at Worlds, hopefully. I would actually love to have a best of 5 versus that team.
I mean, if you believe the LOL Esports global power rankings, post first stand, FlyQuest is the 6th best team in the world. So, now
No
what's
comment.
really interesting to me, when you look at those power rankings, they list CFO as 5th place and FlyQuest as 6th. And I don't really understand why that is. Because
What are the numbers on it? Like, are the numbers close? Are the ELO rating?
uh we're over them by 40 points on this elo rating. So I don't know why they're well, so, hang on. They're listed as finishing at MSI at 5th. Like they,
Oh, and
like,
us
like
at sixth.
yeah, like they like MSI 5th place for CFO and MSI 6th place for FlyQuest. I don't know why that is. Um G2 is listed as having finished 8th, and MCOY is listed as having finished 7th. I don't know why. Like, I feel like that should be, tied, but whatever. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just like once again these rankings are so interesting to me because it's like it it basically equivocates Team Liquid with Nongshim Red Force. Having watched a decent amount of Nongshim Red Force highlights, I think they would probably beat TL. Uh,
Yeah.
TL might have a chance against Ninjas in Pajamas, who they're a couple spots over, because NIP was not good. Um, but yeah, it's just so interesting to me. I really do appreciate how Ultra Prime is like 49th in the world. They had like this has Dignitas ranked over Ultra Prime
God.
by like 3 spots.
Uh,
I there's
I
no way I want to see that match. Give me Dignitas versus UP, please.
I
Okay.
think UP clears that personally, but
Yeah,
that's just
I
me.
also agree. Okay, we kind of mentioned it a little bit. Gakgos has made it to North America. He joined the team as they came back from MSI. There was a picture that surfaced of them out at a restaurant. I also believe that in a theoretical world where a Mickey Mouse tournament was happening in the next few weeks, Papa Smithy said that he would not be playing it and Bwippo would be playing in this tournament if there was such a theoretical tournament occurring. Knox, agree or disagree? Gakgos should be playing in any theoretical tournaments happening in the next 2 weeks.
Uh, he just met up with the team. I don't know, man. So, okay, I was gonna bring this up earlier when I was talking about Whip actually and Quad, and so I had the whole rant earlier about how I want FlyQuest to really like take the time in the beginnings of Split 3 to just really funnel a lot of resources into Quad, so that way he can like really train up on practicing being like the carry and actually pushing the games forward and being the agent to help FlyQuest win games. Um, I'm a little worried that if FlyQuest ends up utilizing Gakagos during those games, it's going to kind of be counterintuitive to the practice and training that Quad needs to really step up. And so for me, I would ideally actually want to use Gakagos now for any hypothetical, theoretical Mickey Mouse tournaments that are happening. But at the same time, I understand that in these theoretical, hypothetical tournaments that may or may not be happening, there's a lot of theoretical, hypothetical money that is on the line for FlyQuest, and so they want to do very, very well. So, long term, I think it's beneficial to have Gakagos play now. Short term, I understand why Blippo's playing, or would theoretically be playing in any of these tournaments, right? So, um, yeah, my opinion is Gakagos should play, but I see why they're not. Theoretically. Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. um, yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree that, like, I wish that Gakagos could be playing here, but I don't think that it's the right time. Because let's be honest, if you're in a tournament, no matter what the status of the tournament is, you do want to perform, you do want to do well.
Yeah.
You do want to get the most that you can out of it. And I just don't think that having him play would give that to you right now.
That is also a good point. And because the other thing is, in this theoretical tournament, you still have all of these MSI teams that are some of the best in the world, and you are getting very, very good scrim practice against them still.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally, it's like a redux of the tournament you just played. I don't know what the format is. I don't care.
It's not good, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't really care at all, but still. I think what I'd like to see, maybe in split 3, since it's going to be best of 3s at first, is Gakos plays game 1 against some of these bottom feeders. You see how he does. If it's a disaster, you bring in Bwipo, obviously. If it's not, play him again, and you bring in Bwipo when like you're playing disguised, right? You don't need Bwipo for disguised.
Would you prefer him going in game 1 or game 2? Like, depending on how game 1 goes.
Maybe game 2 then. Yeah, like if it's a swap in game 1, then maybe put him in game 2, give him a rep. But like, I think do the lower teams get to pick who they're playing first?
Yeah. So, well, in this case, it's automatically seeded week 1, but the week 2 after that, the lower seeded teams pick who they want to play. So right off the bat,
playing week 1.
Week 1, we are playing disguised.
Yeah. Okay. You throw honest. I'll be real. Just have him play that series. Like, nothing's gonna go wrong. It's disguised. Like, I don't care that they, like, brought new people onto the team. You know, I don't care that, like, Darkwings and Rahel are there. It's still the same garbage roster. Like, we're not losing to Disguised, even if you put Gakugos in. Just let him play it. Give him some stage experience, clean up, call it a day, and then put Bwipo in for the rest of the season. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let him.
I agree.
Let him get on the stage, give him a rep, and see what he does. You know, I think there's nothing wrong with that. If it's a total disaster, you put Bwipo in. But, like, you have nothing to lose playing disguised.
And you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little more, it actually does feed into my, like, let quad carry narrative a little bit, because you're going to put Gakugos in there and be like, hey, man, just play stable. Don't call for any resources, but also don't lose your lane to Castle, because I still have a lot of respect for Castle. I think Castle is a great benchmark player to play against as your first time in the LTA. If you can handle Castle, you should be probably okay.
Right.
And so it's like, hey, enter your lane.
Zamudo, you know,
I have a little bit more respect for Castle than I do Zamudo, because I don't know how Zamudo is going to perform yet. I actually do have a lot of respect for Castle. And so I think if you can go in there and you can get in the lane and you don't have to call for any resources from Inspired because you're, like, just bleeding out for whatever reason, I think that's great, because it also puts a lot of emphasis on making sure Quad actually has to step up and carry, so that way, like, he can get the reps in practice in. I actually, the more I think about this, yes, stick Gakugos in for this matchup versus DSG.
Yeah,
we do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, you sold me on this, Sandy. You totally sold me on.
You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by putting him in here. And, yeah. And let's be honest, okay? Even if somehow the floor falls out from under you and you lose to Disguised, you get to pick who you play the next week.
Yep.
You know? So, like, you get to... Shopify and Dig play each other. You get to pick the winner of that. I mean, maybe...
Most likely Shopify.
Yeah, it depends on the ranking, I guess. Which I don't know how they're ranking... Oh, but wait. Rounds 1 and 2, teams with the best record select their opponent. So like if we lost to
Oh,
Disguised,
oh,
if we lose to Disguised, like then like Disguised probably picks like Dig or Shopify or it would get really interesting very fast. But I'm confident we'd be fine. You just put Whippo back in. It would be okay.
And we bounce back. It's not an issue.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of went a roundabout on this, but this will be the last question of the night. Was this the best MSI ever?
Yes, I wholeheartedly. Yeah, because let me think back on 2024.
I mean, I'm gonna look back at
2024 midseason invitational. This was the one. Gen G won it. This is the one FlyQuest floundered horribly, and then TL did beat Fnatic, which was nice. I did enjoy that. Then they took a game off of T1, which was not bad. But in general, I don't think I was overly impressed with this MSI. There was a lot of 3-0s, some non-competitive series. Play-in stage was a little bit of a joke, in my opinion.
Play-ins was a joke. The only other one I'll throw out there that were very interesting, you did have 2016 and 2017.
Oh, CLG.
2016 CLG, who took down Flash Wolves in semis after going 7-3, by the way, in
and also taking a game off of SKT in group stage.
Yes.
So, and RNG as well.
Right. So basically, that CLG team 2-0'd Flash Wolves in G2 and then 1-1'd everybody else on their way to second place in that tournament. I will also say, like 2017 G2 was also a very good team, like a very good tournament. I mean, that was the wacky and wild play-ins, and then G2 went 4-6, but then somehow 3-1'd Team WE in semis. So that was interesting. I don't know if that would be like the best one.
2017 is fun because like it's GAM coming out of nowhere and like absolutely punching TSM in the face and punching everyone else in the face too. Like GAM went 1-1 versus G2, went 1-1 versus WE, went 1-1 versus TSM, brought TSM to a game 5 in the qualification match. GAM was fun to watch that tournament. That tournament was all about GAM.
2019 was of course the infamous Team Liquid G2 finals.
That tournament, honestly, that tournament was a joke in my opinion.
It was a joke.
Liquid just kind of, they caught IG in a bad mood when there was drama with one of their players. Like that's all that was. I'm 29. I don't ever talk about 2019, and Europeans shouldn't either. Like you can talk about your win over SKT. I will 100% give that to you. But I think if you had to deal with an IG that was not like been losing their mind, I don't think they win that.
Right. You also had 2022 was noticeably bad because that was the year that you had the play-in group stage where G2 8-0'd EG and Order. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then EG beat PSG, Fongvu Buffalo, or Saigon Buffalo, and took a game off of T1. Amazingly, and then both G2 and EG got stomped in semis, so very anticlimactic. I remember that tournament being kind of awful.
I think for me, it comes down to this MSI or 2016 MSI. It's between one of those two. The CLG hype storyline, on top of like Flash Wolves being Korean killers, SKT struggling, RNG being this massive powerhouse, but then like still dropping games here and there, and then having this best of 5 versus SKT where SKT manages to pull it out. There were so many hype storylines on top of like, as terrible as it is for competitiveness, the best of ones and the upsets behind them, like there's a reason why they're like best of ones have a place in the world of LoL esports. Right. It's not a great reason, but there is an argument to be made. But then you have this tournament where like the quality of the matches were absolutely insane. The storylines were awesome. But the reality of the situation is everything kind of went to chalk for the most part.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I think just due to the hypeness of it, as much as I love FlyQuest and the run that they made and the 3-0ing of Europe is still, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I still lean 2016. I think the hype behind 2016 was just unbelievable. Because the other thing was, Afromu was a meta leader.
Yeah.
At no point in this tournament was like anyone from the West a meta leader. In fact, I think we're kind of behind in general. But Afromu was a meta leader at MSI. He actually, the Korean and Chinese teams were having to adapt to him. Did they adapt in time and actually play him better than him in the finals? Yes. But he led the way in terms of what support picks were being played. Like, the whole meta changed around him. So I think I still have to give it to 2016 MSI as being the best MSI there was. But this is a very, very close number 2 in my
100%. And I think this one was especially good because, for me at least, because it was redemption for last year's MSI. And frankly, redemption for 2023's Spring Split. Because, you know, that was the season that FlyQuest lost to Golden Guardians and did not make it to MSI, when that was like a great team that year, and like everything fell apart after that. That was like the Impact, Vikla, Prince team.
Spica and Ayla.
Ayla, yeah.
Slash
It was Winsome.
Oh my god, why am I blank? Winsome, yes, thank you. Good lord, I just blanked on his name.
Like, that roster was so freaking stacked. Prince, by the way, has done like nothing since then. Anyway, I'm looking up Prince now to see what he's been doing. He's a caster now. He went into casting. He went to
China and he just died.
Yeah, he went on Team WE for spring 2024 and then retired and went into casting. Dang. FlyQuest kills another career. You know, you hate to see it. Anyway.
Yep.
Another career killed. All right. Anyway, this was redemption for like 2 years of spring splits and MSIs. So it feels good, man, for sure. Okay. I think that's basically all we've got. Any final thoughts from you before we close out the show?
Overall, like I said, great tournament. Probably second favorite MSI ever. Best tournament of the year so far. And if Worlds can top it, even better. I'm looking forward to it. Very happy with FlyQuest performance overall. Notes for Quad, but I mean, still plenty of time to improve.
Yeah.
Yakagos is someone I'm keeping my eye on. I hope he actually gets a rep versus DSG. I think it's probably the best time to play him and get him some rep on the stage. Other than that, I'm not watching any hypothetical, theoretical tournaments, so I'm probably just going to be taking a break from lowly sports for a little bit and then hit it hard for Split 3.
There you go. I agree. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Flight Check. MSI is over. There's nothing going on for a few weeks, if you can believe it. Split 3 will be coming back real soon. We will probably resume around then as well, barring any crazy FlyQuest news. I don't expect there to be a reason to do a show for the next few weeks, but we'll keep you updated.
It gives you time to get all your stuff settled and moved in anyway.
This is true. Absolutely. To know when the show is coming back, you can catch the show at Flight Check Crew on Twitter, myself at SantosDB, Nox at NoxWar with 2 R's, and absent Curly at Curly_QQ_. Make sure to hop into the Flight Check Discord as well. All kinds of esports discussion and otherwise taking place in there. If you missed any part of this episode, the VOD's going to be up on YouTube tonight or tomorrow morning. And if you are watching that, you want to catch the show live, we broadcast the episode usually every Monday night around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. Nox, any final notes, shoutouts, or plugs before we wrap up?
Shout out to my wife, who was upset that we lost in the finals and is actually out grinding pickleball practice by herself right now because she wants to get better. I'm actually kind of sad I couldn't join her, but I'm happy.
You know, she got blown off the stage, and she went right back into solo queue. You know, it's
yeah, no, she said she's hitting the grind hard. I was like, damn, girl, I'm happy. So yeah, I think other than that, got your tickets for finals, so I'll see you in the next month or so.
I gotta buy my plane ticket, but I will be there.
And I think that's about it.
Yes. My shout out is gonna be to movers. Without them, this move would not be possible. I would not be able to move all these boxes. I mean, I could. It would just
take a long time.
A long time. So shout out to movers, and the couple $100 that we'll be paying them. Well worth it. Absolutely. We will be back in a few weeks to probably be previewing Split 3. I already know what my prediction against DSG is going to be.
But we'll save that for next time. We'll let the suspense kill y'all.
Right. We'll let the tension build. So for now, we'll just say stay safe out there and bite your teeth. Do not forget to hit the head on the nail. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Adios, everybody.
Have a good one, guys. And in honor of Curly, peace, y'all.
Perseus.